On the news tonight, electoral umpire INEC transfers collection of permanent voter cards to wards and registration areas. Rejects money bags, Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi tells Nigerians. And appeal court reinstates Dauda Lawal as Zamfara PDP Guba candidate. Many thanks for joining us in News Now. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has transferred the permanent voter cards collection to registration areas and wards across 774 local government offices of the Commission throughout the Federation. INEC National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee Festus Okoye said this on Thursday. According to him, all validly registered voters who are yet to collect their PVCs are encouraged to use the opportunity of the transfer to the wards to do so. Okoye also said that after the 15th of January 2023, the exercise will revert to the local government offices of the Commission until the 22nd of January 2023. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has urged the electorate to reject money bag politicians in the February 25 election. Speaking during a campaign in Ekiti State on Thursday, the former Anambra State governor said it is time Nigerians rejected money bags to elect quality leaders who will bring about the desired change in the country. The Labour Party candidate also asked Nigerians to shun ethnic and religious sentiments in voting during the forthcoming presidential election. Obi added that he is the most qualified of the 18 candidates, jostling for the top Aso Rock job, and promised to provide jobs for the youths. Well, time and time again, Nigerians have been warned about the dangers of vote buying, but as the 2023 general elections draw closer, questions on political consciousness have been brought to the forefront. For more insight, a legal expert and political commentator Evan Tufeli joins me now. As always, thank you very much for joining us. From INEC to other statesmen, the issue of financial inducement and vote buying keeps coming up in electoral discourse. What impact does this have on the quality of Nigeria's electoral process?
Well, the impact that vote buying have on our electoral system is that it depletes and ruptures merit. What it means is that when people collect money and vote according to the purchase or the buying and selling that usually will happen on the day of election, what it means is that the candidate with the highest bid will now be the one to carry the day. And that is a severe problem in our system. In fact, vote buying is a pandemic in Nigeria, such that if we are not careful, in 2023, this year, if we are not careful with the coming election, we may find ourselves in deeper problem than we have now. Already 133 million Nigerians are living in multidimensional poverty. And what that presupposes is that some of the electors most times are willing to give up their vote for money. And that is the problem. So the impact of it is that it will erode good governance, because if majority of the electors have sold their vote, they will have no moral justification to ask government for accountability. That is one. Two, it places us as a laughing stock in the international community, because right from 1999 to date, we have not been able to curb the issue of vote buying. And the major factor of this vote buying is poverty and indiscipline, ignorance, lack of self-discipline is what is really permeating the electors. But we have said it time and again that people should not collect money from politicians. They should vote their conscience, vote according to the dictates of their conscience, no matter what it is. Some people say collect money but don't vote them. I said no, don't collect money at all, because you have no conscience in the first place. It's your civic responsibility. under the law, you don't exercise your civic responsibility and you get paid for that. The only way you get paid is when you now elect the right person and you have good governance. And that good governance, you now reap the dividend of democracy. That will now be the return on investment of exercising your civic responsibility. And
so now, in terms of prevention mechanisms, now, how prepared are relevant agencies to ensure that that this becomes a thing of the past?
Sorry, I didn't get that question.
Now, I said in terms of a preventive mechanism, how prepared are the relevant agencies in terms of INEC and other security agencies to ensure that the issue of vote buying becomes a thing of the past?
About prevention of vote buying, or the much you had there is just the penalty when one is caught. The penalty for which is 100,000 naira or 6 months imprisonment, as you have it in the Electoral Act. But I think that the law should go beyond just that. Those who come to buy votes and those who are there on that day to sell votes, there should be some level of legislation that will go beyond just punitive. There must be some preventive measures through the security agencies. I mean, during the primaries, we saw ESCC at the polling units. But how much of that do we have in the general election where you have several local governments and you have thousands of polling units scattered across the country? Where's the manpower to man that? So the only way we can do it is to instill discipline in the electorate and the citizenry. So let them know that
and definitely, Evans, to eradicate poverty, because without taking out poverty, I mean, it's quite difficult to change the minds of a poor Nigerian who needs that, little bit of money for himself or herself. But legal expert and political commentator Evan Tufeli, thank you very much, as always, for your time and your contribution. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed delight over the candidacy of Aishatu Binani as the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Adamawa State. Binani, if elected in the 2023 election, will be the first female executive governor in Nigeria. Speaking to newsmen on the outcome of the meeting she had with the president, Binani expressed confidence in her emergence as the first female executive governor in Nigeria.
I represented Yola North, Yola South, Gire Federal Constituency and the 7th Assembly. And they testified that they never had it good from a representative. And now I'm representing the Adamawa Central Senatorial Zone and the Red Chamber. And till this very moment, that's the same testimony that we never had this kind of representation, right from the lawmaking and also humanity.
President Buhari has done what no president has done, because I consider him a very lucky president that during his tenure, he will be the first president that will produce the first elected female governor in Nigeria. That is a phenomenon. That is a special grace from God. I have never been so happy as this visit. For the 3.5 years I've been in office working with Mr. President, this visit is one of my best visits.
From inception of democracy to date, no federating unit of this country has produced a chief executive officer, female, for the state that the APC is about doing under President Muhammadu Buhari. And it's a very special development in the history of political development of this country. And as chairman of the party, I felt a sense of responsibility and duty to come and appreciate him for creating a democratic order that will be able to produce a person in her mold.
Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle has disclosed that his administration is doing everything within its power to ensure that displaced persons and victims of insurgency are not only rehabilitated but also resettled. Speaking to correspondents after meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the State House in Abuja, the governor added that rehabilitation centers in the state are near completion. He added that the state government, in partnership with the federal government, has also put in structures to improve security in the state, adding that all unofficial IDP camps will be closed soon.
In terms of security, the federal government has done well. The military has also done very well. We are now looking into the possibility of rehabilitating the victims of the insurgency. Quite a number of them have surrendered, and then federal government is supporting our mission of rehabilitating them. But most importantly, we are yet to complete our resettlement project, of which very soon we shall resettle communities of Gudumbali local government area of Borno State, and then we shall also resettle all our refugees that are living in the Republic of Niger, Chad Republic, and Niger and Cameroon. President has given approval to this effect, and very soon we shall start.
While still in Zamfara State, the Sokoto Division of the Court of Appeal has reinstated Daud Lawal as the People's Democratic Party governorship candidate in Zamfara State. A high court sitting in Gusau, Zamfara State, had earlier nullified the primaries that produced Lawal. However, the appellate court in its ruling on Friday set aside a judgment of the Federal High Court. In the judgment by Mohammed Shuaibu and two other members of the panel, the court ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to accept Lawal as the elected governorship candidates of the PDP in Zamfara State for the 2023 general election. Reacting to the judgment, Lawal, in a statement by his media office, described the appeal court's ruling in Sokoto as a victory for democracy and the good people of Zamfara State. Deputy Senate President and the All Progressives Congress governorship candidate in Delta State, Ovie Omoagege, has accused Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of wasting the state over 4.2 trillion naira without any commensurate projects to show for the money. Omoagege made the accusation while addressing State House correspondents after a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa in Abuja. He also alleged that the governor has been spending the state resources to fund the People's Democratic Party's presidential campaign, adding that just 1% of the money Okowa has devoted to the campaign would address the state's infrastructure and deficiency.
Okowa is very, very ripe for the taking. Delta is very, very ripe for the taking. We're determined to achieve this. We've been going around each of the local governments, word by word, making the case, drawing the attention of the people of the state to the misgovernance and the lack of performance on the part of not just Okowa, but the PDP-led administration in the past 14 years, let me say the past 14 years, but most especially in the last 7.5 years. The message we are saying to our people is resonating. We've been able to make the case to them that Delta State is supposedly a very, very rich state, and indeed we are a rich state, given the contributions that we've made not only to the economy of this country, but also to the economy of the state, because of the receipts that we've gotten from federal allocation, inclusive of 13% derivation, and other receipts have come to the state by way of IGR. And by our reckoning, since the Okowa administration came into being, Delta State has received close to about 4.2 trillion naira. So if you look at that, out of a total of 4.2 trillion naira that has come to the state, there's nothing on ground by way of infrastructural development that is commensurate with all of these receipts that have come to the state. So our people are not taking this treachery, kindly, and they're determined to punish Okowa. So our prospects are very, very bright. In addition to what we offer, we want to change the narrative in the state.
Well, we'll take a break here, but still to come. Nigeria dreads another wave, monitors rising cases of new variants in China and the US. Details of the story and more right after this break.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has fixed Monday, 12th December 2022 to Sunday, 22nd January 2023 as the dates for the collection of PVCs nationwide from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, including Saturdays and Sundays. All registrants who are yet to collect their PVCs or requested for transfer of registration, as well as those who applied for replacement of lost or damaged PVCs, can now visit INEC local government offices where they intend to vote to collect their PVCs. Collection of PVCs will be further extended to ward level for those who are unable to collect theirs at local government offices from Friday 6th to Sunday 15 January 2023. Thereafter, the exercise will be reverted to the local government offices of the INEC until Sunday 22nd January 2023. Remember, only those with PVC can vote on election day. Collect your PVC now to vote. It is your duty. This message is brought to you by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
Welcome back. Now here is a recap of some of our top stories tonight. Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has transferred the permanent voters cards registration to registration areas and wards across 774 local government offices of the Commission throughout the Federation. According to INEC National Commissioner and Chairman Information and Voter Education Committee Festus Okoye, all validly registered voters who are yet to collect their PVCs are encouraged to use the opportunity of the devolution to the wards to do so. We also told you that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has urged the electorate to reject money-bagged politicians in the February 25 election. Speaking during a campaign in Ekiti State on Thursday, the former Anambra State governor said it is time Nigerians rejected money bags to elect quality leaders who will bring about the desired change in the country. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin, for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC, has said its COVID-19 Emergency Operations Center is monitoring COVID-19 trends in countries with a high volume of traffic to and from Nigeria. The NCDC, in a statement on Wednesday, explained that the countries, which include China, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, South Africa, and India, are currently battling with a rise in Omicron SARS-CoV-2 variant and its lineages, dominating recorded infections worldwide. It added that the EOC is also monitoring the resurgence of COVID-19 in China following the relaxation of the country's zero COVID-19 policy and the increased COVID-19 cases, admissions and deaths in the UK and the USA over the past weeks, driven by the usual winter worsening of the respiratory illnesses. We'll take a breather now and return with more stories. To stay with us. Welcome back. Mary Kanu is on standby to bring us up to speed on the latest in the world of business. Over to you, Mary.
Thank you, Folashade. Hello and welcome to Business News. The Debt Management Office has explained that public debt would only hit the projected 77 trillion naira if the ways and means advances from the Central Bank of Nigeria are included. On Wednesday, the agency, during the public presentation and breakdown of the 2023 Appropriation Act, said the incoming administration would inherit about 77 trillion naira as debt by the time President Muhammadu Buhari's tenure ends in May. But in a statement on Thursday, Director General of the DMO, Patience Oniha, said the figure would only reach that level when the ways and means advances from the CBN were securitized. The organized labor has kicked against the over 3 trillion naira injected by our federal government into the privatized electricity companies owned by individuals without commensurate increase in power generation over the past 10 years. Secretary General of the National Union of Electricity Employees, Joe Ajero, expressed the concern during the public hearing on a bill to amend the Electric Power Sector Reform Act of 2005. Chairman of the committee, Representative Magaji Dao Aliyu, expressed optimism that the committee will do everything possible to address concerns raised by the Nigeria Governors Forum on the directive of the Speaker of the House of Representatives. This is as Minister of State for Power, Gudi Jedi Agba, denied knowledge of electricity tariff increase by NERC.
Now, having tried privatization for about 10 years, and we are doing just the amendment of sections of the Act. And then even the review provision in the Act, which gave provision for a review of the sector after 5 years. And we have written consistently, and it has not happened.
It's not a matter of opinion of the NGF as a forum or of the states. It is a position that rests absolutely on the Constitution and the provisions of the Constitution that make power, electricity, the concurrent responsibility of the federal government and the states. And the Constitution is quite explicit, actually, in paragraph 14 of Schedule 2, where it is explicitly stated that the states have power to make laws for electricity.
We are only here today to address the challenges and the needs of the Governors Forum. They feel that there is a constitutional provision that gives them the right to form a regulatory agency, like Nigeria Regulatory Electricity Agency. So they want this in individual state. That's all what we sit today to consider. We have seen their concern, and we'll look into the concern.
We'll take a break now and return with a review of the stock market. Just stay with us. Well, 27 kobo, that's the gain that propelled the market into positive trading, making it rise again after Thursday's poor performance to close the first trading week in the new year on a positive note. We have NPF, Microfinance Bank and Namath to thank for the gains. The all-share index closed high at 0.70% with a basis point in the 51,000 level. A look at the market summary shows improvement in volume and turnover with over 195 million volume of shares traded in 3,650 deals. Investors will expect a positive market run, but the usual January momentum is likely to dominate, particularly as the yield environment appears to be shifting downwards. A switch now to some select global stocks, while stocks are rising after the December jobs report and a manufacturing survey showed signs that inflation may be cooling amid the Federal Reserve's interest rate hikes. That's why we can see the bulls showing off in the FTSE, Dow Jones and Nikkei. They're all trading up at 0.80%, 1.66% and 0.59%. Well, that's the stock market report. For Lashade, back to you.
Many thanks, Mary, for that update. And on the foreign scene, Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered a 36-hour ceasefire in Ukraine over Orthodox Christmas, the first major truce of more than 10-month-long war that has killed tens of thousands and devastated swaths of Ukraine. According to the Kremlin, Putin ordered the ceasefire to begin on January the 6th. Many Orthodox Christians, including those living in Russia and Ukraine, celebrate Christmas on January 6 to 7. Ukraine earlier dismissed appeal by Patriarch Kirill of Moscow, though there were no immediate reactions to Putin's ceasefire announcement. Well, up next is Entertainment Report on News Now.
Davido has updated his marital status on Wikipedia. The singer's page now reflects his new marital status and his wife's name. Davido reportedly finalized his traditional marriage rites to Chioma on Thursday. It was earlier reported in November last year that the singer secretly got married to Chioma a month after the death of their only son, Ifeanyi Adeleke. Also confirming their marriage in a trending video on social media, Chioma's father could be seen performing the Umunna and Umuada rites for first daughters and first sons. Nollywood actress Uche Ogbodo and her partner Bobby Maris have customarily wed at a private ceremony. This comes 8 years after the actress' failed marriage to footballer Akwa Arthur, which produced a daughter. The actress had acknowledged that she had found love once more with fast-rising singer Bobby Maris, with whom she has given birth to a daughter. A video posted online showed the actress beaming as one of her friends showered her with cash at the customary wedding ceremony. On her Instagram page on Thursday, Uche Ogbodo announced that she is now officially known as Mrs. Bobby Florentus Ugwegbu. And that's it on the entertainment segment of News Now.
And now in sports, President of the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, Ibrahim Gusau, has tasked the Interim Management Committee, IMC, to ensure that the nation's elite football league calendar is well aligned with that of Europe. Gusau made this known while speaking at the presentation of 10 million naira, a startup grant to each of the 20 Premier League clubs in Nigeria. Gusau further explained that the process will help imbibe professionalism into Nigeria's football league.
We are talking with people that are going to bring money into the league, and they want us to make sure that at least we take back our league the way it is being run in other parts of the world. Therefore, we must take certain actions.
We came with a solution, and that's what has been approved. And so what that does is that liquidity is going to be brought into the ecosystem. We are going to see enhancement of professionalism. We are going to see a tomorrow of an economy that all the stakeholders will be very happy with.
It's a win-win situation for all of us because it's a family matter. Like we said earlier on, the club owners and the IMC are all parents, children of the same parent. We share the same DNA. So there's no way we quarrel that we will not resolve it our own self. So what we can say today, at the end of the day, football wins. And football will always win. Thank you.
Issues have been resolved, and we are one big family now. And we have also agreed that as, partners in progress, this league must succeed.
And that's the size of our news bulletin. Many thanks for watching. I am Folashade Ogurinde. Bye for now.